pointed question of today: does apparel in darts really matter? Does it make a difference? Does it? Should you dress to impress? What should you do? What should you not do? Let's talk everything apparel. The shout out to Sheila G Minor, and Ryan over this last weekend. They handed me three. Ryan's a youth player there. They sat down at a table together and three different postcards or like little like note cards, wrote down a bunch of different notes and ideas for the show. And Ryan's opinion when Sheila asked, "Hey, do you think dart jerseys matter?" He he said it's just a shirt. So but they want to know our thoughts. And Jen, with your expertise as a jersey extraordinaire, let's
clothing
wearer of shirts.
I do wear shirts. I wear the hell out of some shirts.
Yeah, you do. Look at you, you little fruit salad, you. So what do you think, first off, just overall, does apparel matter in darts?
Yes, but mostly just for comfort and consistency and confidence, right? Not for performance, unless you are into what's called oh my goodness.
Drugs.
I'm totally blanking on the word. No. It's called a
Adderall.
raglan sleeve. A raglan sleeve. So I would say that's the only performance benefit of worrying about your uniform. Instead of the stitching being right on the seam of the shoulder, it ends up connecting to the collar. And so it's just completely smooth piece of fabric. So you won't have any like restriction if that annoys you or bothers you. Some people like pull up their sleeve, and we've got people in like a lot in the Midwest that like to wear like sleeveless shirts because they just can't be bothered and they're fussy. I mean, I hate to say it that way. I don't mean to be offensive, but you're fussy. You don't want to deal with sleeves. Raglan sleeve might be a solution for you. If your shirt like sticks to you or rides up or messes with your throw, and you'll feel it, right? So I think it matters in a pretty practical sense and also in a very vain sense, because the uniform is 100% polyester dye sublimated jerseys. You can sublimate all of your sponsor logos onto your shirt. You can put your name on there. You can come up with a custom one of a kind design just for you and promote yourself within the darts world that way. I think there's lots of practical purposes for clothing. Accessories is a little bit of a different topic. But overall, I would obviously argue that jersey is important, and it's the uniform that we all live by as darts players.
See, I don't know. You're talking about putting the sponsor logos on the jersey. Nothing's funnier than watching Kevin Luke restick his sticker for the 17th time on his jersey during a dart tournament. It really does. It's the little things that bring me joy. No, okay. So I think we have to overall concept: look good, feel good, play good. You should. The better you look, the better you feel, the better you'll play. Those things do actually have correlation, but the actual specifics is where, yes, I think if you're going with a shirt again with the stitching in the shoulder versus whatever the hell fancy term you used to describe it, that does make an actual tangible difference. But you can find clothing and other shirts and polos that naturally have that kind of stitching as well outside of dart jerseys. I think what's interesting about dart jerseys is, to me, it does feel like the equivocal of putting on a uniform. It makes me kind of shift my mindset when I'm wearing one versus when I'm not and playing darts. When I'm not wearing a dart jersey and I'm playing darts, even if I'm wearing a shirt that's comfortable to throw in, I don't feel the same level of committed to the activity as I do otherwise. So I do think there's a mentality shift there.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a placebo effect. That's psychologically significant. So that's a great point you've made. But beyond that, darts jerseys, when you purchase them from American companies, you're putting money into the circulation of the darts community. So I would say it is more important than ever to not only like fit in with the culture and wear the uniform for all of its practical benefits, you're supporting the darts community by supporting these companies, especially like a Magic Wear, a Dirty Jersey Darts, a Monsta. I mean, there's so many. Anyone can start up an apparel company, but all those companies are run by darts people, right? Like, we live and breathe darts, and there's so much business to go around, which is why like I'm always happy if you have such a specific custom need. Like, we might not be the absolute best fit for you, or the opposite. If you just want like so much selection, you want to go to someone that only has like fixed designs on their site or whatever. But we specialize in custom made to order. So if that's up your alley, come to us. But if you don't have the biggest budget in the world, maybe go to DJD. Like, there's something for everyone. There's a
If you
flavor
have
for
good
everyone out
taste,
there.
you can get the new fruit jersey on Magic Works inspired
Ooh,
by our podcast.
yes,
We'll be
Fruit
wearing them soon.
Frenzy jersey. Yeah, we ordered them. So we gotta wait for them to come in too, made to order. But there are also even more physical benefits to wearing 100% polyester while you're playing. So for one, they're not going to hold sweat like cotton does. They're moisture wicking, and we all know some of these venues can be hot as hell. And when you're shoulder to shoulder, nuts to butts with a bunch of darts players, it can get a little gritty. You
I
never heard that
don't like that term.
term? Yeah, I don't either, but it's
Flows like
paints a
butter,
picture.
Jen. Flows like
Flows
butter.
like butter. I can't believe you remember that. I thought I got away with that one. Um,
No.
Okay, so moisture wicking. Benefit number two, 100% polyester is never going to shrink. So you can wash them in hot water, dry them. You can iron them even if you're just careful and quick. There's lots of benefits. Not gonna, it's gonna be the same fit over time. And like Nick is saying, you're gonna look official as hell, and you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna feel like you belong, and you can beat anyone.
My favorite's like when you go to like a local blind draw and you don't know the people there and you're like, oh, I got the person in a dart jersey and they still suck. Like I do love
Yeah,
that though, because like you
yeah,
assume that they're like a certain level of skill. But I love that perspective. I even think about like reinvesting into the community, but you
yeah,
not only can
Nick.
you support American like businesses because there's a lot of them that you listed off there and many more. But also on top of that, like you can support the players here, right? When you're buying player line jerseys and helping get the exposure for them, even if they're not commission based. Not every player gets commission on jersey sales. Sometimes they usually, actually, in fact, from my understanding, a lot of jersey sponsorships will instead supply them with jerseys to wear, but typically not give them a commission of sales, unlike dart barrels, which sometimes do have commission based benefits. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I think the culture is changing a little bit. There is incentive to buy player jerseys. Like if you're a player out there and you don't get anything for your jersey and there's a decent amount of replicas being sold, yeah, there might be a use case for you to argue like, okay, can I get like a 10% kickback? That would be
Mhm.
my suggestion to you. Something like that, or a fixed amount per jersey to make it simple, whatever. But significant meaning like at least, 30, 50 at a time. Like there can't be one or two. It's just not worth setting up the agreement. Um, but another big thing that I think about all the time is like teammate camaraderie. It's so fun to wear matching
Matt,
shirts. It's like
it
my
is.
favorite thing in the world.
It is
So
that's a big
custom
difference.
jerseys for teammates. That's so fun. We just put out Super Mario Bros. We have Ninja
Hmm.
Turtles. We have
Hmm.
we have so many fun like eclectic designs too, one offs. The grungy skull gritty types. I always call it like the Sons of Anarchy look. People love that. If you want some skulls and flames, I'm your girl. Hit us up, Magic Work. No, there's so many cultural and practical benefits. Of course, the hierarchy of performance, maybe clothing really isn't super high up there, but it makes a difference. Like Nick said, feel good, play
Well,
good.
jersey's one part. Let's talk some other parts of clothing. I will say, apparel wise, if you are not wearing closed-toed shoes, you are not playing darts correctly. Playing in slides, playing in flip flops, playing barefoot. Now, practicing barefoot in your house or with socks on your house. I'm not saying I put shoes on 100% of the time I play at home. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about going out. If slides and flip flops is absolutely something that is not good for your game. Get that out of there. That actually does probably have a negative effect on you. It does affect the consistency of your foot placement. And no matter what, if you're used to playing in that, there's many tournaments that won't let you wear shoes like that.
Mm. I would even go so far as to say the same consistent heel shape or like flat shoe if possible, like
Mhm.
weightlifting shoes or like Chuck Taylors, Converse, Keds. Like, I don't know. There's
Walmart
so many shoe
clearance
brands out there.
aisle, whatever's at
Hey
Ross,
dudes, good old hey
Goodwill,
dudes.
Hey
I
Dudes.
mean, even if slippers are your thing, like if you just wear the same shoe when you're in your bedroom, I make sure I never play barefoot. I don't play in my socks or like in different types of shoes. I have a dart shoe. It lives in this room when I'm throwing darts, and it's what I pack and take to tournaments. So having a consistency there, trying to avoid wearing heels, and this is going to be a hard ask for shorter ladies. I totally get it. Like you just feel you need the help to get the dart to the board, but without a doubt, changing your mechanics, your throwing mechanics will solve that problem over relying on a 5-inch heel. Please work with Alex Spellman to correct that issue if that's something you've been thinking about. Um, you can cut that dart to the board way faster with proper throwing mechanics than dealing with like a 5-inch heel.
Alex Spellman, we expect a little bit of kickback here for anybody that got to Anubis Academy through our podcast. Thank you very much.
Nah, come on.
Nope.
He's working hard. He deserves some
Don't care.
business. He's
Don't care.
he's committed his life to darts.
Good for
Oh,
him.
Nick.
Good
You
for
greedy,
him.
Nick.
Yeah,
Greedy
he
boy.
chose this life. We were forced into it by being so sexy and beautiful. Okay, here's one I actually don't have a problem with at all, and I actually think more and more tournaments need to stop caring about this rule. I'm okay with hats and darts. I don't think I have a problem with backwards, forwards, left, right. I don't think it looks unprofessional, particularly. I don't really care about hats. I know the old adage of the chalk line for lineups and stuff like that that people used to do under the bills of hats. I think that is such a nothing burger of an issue for so much. I think that hats is totally fine, and the only reason to not wear a hat while you play is just because some tournaments don't allow you to, and some people feel weird when they're not wearing a hat. I think it's fine.
I can see that. I'm trying to think of like sports that allow hats. I don't know if cornhole does.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely
right?
not bowling. Not billiards. Not bowling.
Like,
I don't know.
That's
That's a tough one.
arbitrary. It just seems arbitrary to me. Like, I'm okay with hats. I'm fine with it. I'm gonna argue this, relatively okay with shorts. I'm not saying that. I still think that the best players should be wearing like slacks, because you should be expecting to be on camera and on stage and on TV, and you should always dress in a consistent outfit. I dress the same as I would if I was playing in a big stage match. Not that I have, but that being said, I think in general, like shorts is just a comfortable look for a lot of players. I think for the average player, shorts is totally fine to play in. If you're a high level player, you should never play in shorts.
I'm definitely on board with you with the hats. I think almost no one is running around with like a crusty, torn up, terrible looking hat. And again, it fuels the darts industry because almost everyone sells hats. We have USA Darts hats and FlexFit, Richardson, trucker hats, Yapun snapbacks.
Not sponsored. We're just selling stuff. Don't mind us.
We got these. I think they fit the look. I think you're right, especially those like fitted, like FlexFit Richardsons. Like they look right with a jersey. The shorts, I think I'm struggling more with because it just feels so weekend barbecue to me.
It is weekend barbecue.
And it's more. But the thing is, though, we have to expect venues can pump out air conditioning and like that the environment is suitable to not have to wear shorts. Some people are like dying in those halls. So I don't know. I guess I don't have super strong feelings. I think I personally would prefer to see people in a pant, a trouser, a pant, a slack. But I know people feel super strongly about the shorts. I don't know. I'll go team pant on that one.
I'm gonna rapid fire a couple here that I just think that you should never do. Hoodie / jackets, never. That's a never for me. There's a handful of exceptions. For every Sean Cafflish in the world that can throw a 5+ and do it, good for you. Majority of people, it does affect how their arm pullback is. It does add an extra layer of clothing on it. I think in general, it's just not a good look. I think in general, you should not throw the hoodie on if you're like actually playing darts, not just casually throwing at the bar. If it's cold in Wisconsin, you're just casually throwing at the bar, live your truth. You're probably not watching this right now. I also think never a watch. I could never wear a watch or a bracelet on stage. Never, on either hand.
Either. Why do you care about the non-throwing hand?
It's an extra thing to think about. It's an extra piece of movement on my body. I like absolutely disdain. I will not wear my watch out ever. In fact, I've taken my watch off while playing darts and then lost like a watch by doing that because I didn't want to put my watch on.
I think that's a hot take from you. I don't know. Like, you have Asian culture. Asian culture, they have a bracelet that they intentionally wear on the throwing arm, and they like want to feel it snap up, so they know their release impact is intense. So I think that's interesting. I couldn't do it.
Gimmick.
I don't know. Yeah, gimmicky. I mean, they're incredible. I'm talking the Asian pros. not casual players. There's a
Yeah, no,
few of
good.
them known for
I'm
it.
not saying the pros aren't exceptional, but I'm still saying it's a gimmick for 99.9% of players that would ever try that product.
As a teaching tool, I think it could be useful. Like physically feeling the physicality of it, but filming yourself in slow-mo is gonna be the most practical thing you could ever
Mhm.
do
Yeah,
if you're capable of it.
yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, over the bracelet gimmick. How do you feel
See,
about
gimmick.
compression sleeves?
If you have diagnosed arthritis or tennis elbow of some kind and need it, then yes, right? There are certain people that absolutely need it because their arm physically will feel like it's falling off if they don't have it. Um, I'm okay with those people that have a doctor prescribed condition. I will also
Dang,
say,
Nick.
what?
It's just a hot take again, I think.
It's not a hot take.
Strong
I
feelings.
just think that majority of people that wear sleeves are only doing it for aesthetics, and it actually probably isn't good for your dart game. I think that actually compression sleeves typically will hurt the average player more than they ever have a chance to help, unless you have some kind of like arthritis or tennis elbow.
How much have you experimented with them personally?
I've tried them on and off for like a year when I was getting into playing, because like I saw a couple players wearing them. I think my dad wore one for a little while as well, and I tried it. And what I realized is that again, it affected how my arm felt drawing back and following through with the dart. When I didn't have one, things felt weird. If in hotter environments, it felt like an extra layer of clothing on my arm that was causing heat. I think anything
Mhm.
that is past the normal sleeve length is just very uncomfortable to throw in, and to be able to learn how to get comfortable in that while not having any of the medical benefits of needing compression, I couldn't sell me on it.
I guess it's your point of if the overall goal is to be as good as possible. But I think for the casual player, it genuine like to me, I wouldn't say it's a pseudoscience in terms of it will slightly reduce muscle fatigue over long sessions of throwing. So if you're super obsessant like about playing and I think it's perfectly fine. It's not going to be such a distraction, especially if you're used to throwing with it. It does give you a consistent feel to your throw. Like I'm actually really about it, but I wouldn't choose to use it mostly because of the temperature thing that you mentioned.
Hmm.
It does keep your arm warmer, and I don't want that to happen for myself. But what I liked about it is it actually helped me when I was shorting my take back. I had that particular problem, and I knew once I felt tension, I was pulling back far enough. So it was a guide, it was a marker, a reference point in my mind to
That's
help
fair.
me with consistent mechanics. But that might not be the case for everyone. It's
Well,
obviously not going to correct bad throwing mechanics
but
overnight.
then you kind of get into it then, right? And you're thinking, okay, well, I could have this and it does help correct something. I could see that being a correction that it could do. What happens the moment you don't have it on? Does your dart stroke just start pulling back further or not? Like I'm not saying for you specifically, but for players, they might develop a dependency that they don't need to have. That's why it's again, it's
Yeah,
like
you're just
if you never drank
anti-dependency
and
of
played
anything.
darts, then don't ever
Mhm.
drink and play darts. I think that's one of the best things you can do. If you never take an Adderall and play darts, don't start now. You know, like I think that's kind of where my general consensus always lies with stuff like this. So again, I think out of everything listed, that's one of the most like negligible ones. I'm most okay with sleeves compared to like hoodies or shorts. I even though I kind of defended shorts a little bit. Again, that was more of a casual. Like 99% of the time, it doesn't matter unless you're playing in a competition. As long as you, but if you're high level, it matters, right? And I do think
Yeah.
sleeves have a good level of expression. There is a cool level of expression and accessorizing with
Yeah.
it that I think is pretty fun
Cool
for
designs.
players.
I never really thought about that being the driving force why people buy compression sleeves, but I can kind of see that. They just want to
Yeah,
accessorize that much
there's
more.
definitely some. Oh yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I think the big one is earbuds, right? I think
Another
earbuds is
dependency.
another one. Yeah. Um, I used to be a big don't ever play with earbuds guy. I still believe that there's not as many problems with earbuds as people make it there out to be. But I will also say, with how much remote darts is so prevalent now, with how many remote competitions are where there is not an environment of other people playing around you. In fact, sometimes you might be in the bar as the only dart player playing for thousands of dollars online. Having earbuds to make your own environment is actually becoming a little bit important, I would argue.
Y- Okay, I can get on that train. I think if we're allowing hats, why wouldn't you also allow headphones at that point?
Mhm.
as an aesthetic look. It's really not that much more. I think my genuine personal annoyance with it is like people that wear headphones obviously are no longer aware of how loud they are and they'll be singing along to their music and like it's like a little obnoxious. I would almost consider it a little bit of gamesmanship. And in order to communicate with your opponent, say you're getting triple dipped at TOC or something, like I've had a couple times where I'm like, oh my God, like, can you take your earbud out? Like, we need to talk. Like, there was just so many instances like that. Um, and yeah, the volume thing of like they suddenly start screaming.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm not saying people can't be cringe with their headphones,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also to that same point, I would say, okay, if you're playing with partners, and I would never put on headphones unless my partner already had headphones in. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, at most one earbud, and that's like I'm really in my head trying to get out of it type scenario, and that's very, very rare. I will still say, of course, best practice is just to never have them because there will be competitions where you can't have them. And that is something that you have to accept if you're going for high level. But I think for the average play, I think playing in remote online tournaments, I think it's actually very important to have them because I can tell you, people, as someone that plays EDC and DRTs pretty actively, the amount of people that come up and try to interact with you, that at least, even if I don't have anything playing, the barrier of having the headphone or the earbud in
Oh,
will make
sure.
people not want to talk to you as much. And that helps a lot. And again,
Yep.
playing in a
Yep.
big
Yep.
final where everyone else in the bar is doing something else and they think you're just some dude playing a remote game. That part is kind of become like I've kind of gotten sold on it, and I don't have a problem in singles when players play. I'm yes, if people are singing being obnoxious, that's one thing, but majority of the time, I feel like most people are just kind of like in their own world, and as long as they're being conscientious of okay, I need to interact with my opponent because it's the end of a leg or it's a diddle or it's something. That's the only time where
Yep.
like okay, please be considerate, be respectful, dart players. The last
Be
7 to 10 years,
respectful.
I've seen a downgrade of respect, and I'm tired of it. Tired of it, guys.
I'm telling you, we're here to fix this for Chrissy. She deserves it. We want to
The
see her
answer,
everywhere.
Jen, does apparel matter in darts? Answer the question. What is the answer?
Yes. Yes. And here's the exact hierarchy of what matters in darts: your throwing mechanics, your mental game. Wait. Yeah. Um, confidence, then comfort, then consistency of like all the stuff, composure, everything. That would be my five.